how to move, it get dangerous in these streets. Damn, niggas can't walk inside these shoes, no. Mama never thought I'd make it to see 24. Now I'm gripping on that wheel, swerving max. 217 on the dash, don't make me nervous, yeah. And if somebody got a problem, tell them we ain't beefing. We just take they hoes and we call that getting even. You think she coming home, but that ain't mine, that's her decision. And that's just how it goes, it's the first time I'm a witness. I've been making waves, move different like I'm Dennis. Chefing in the kitchen, James Harden, water whipping. It's a big deal when we step under the ceiling. Quit playing with me, dog, I'm with the game 6, keep up.
Ay, I'm playing 6. It's all good. Yeah. They ain't on shit put up front. This something we knew right from the jump. Rolling with the squad, don't give a fuck.
To the max.
Try your luck. Shit get crazy in the town, Gotta watch my back when I'm around, But I ain't worried about no clowns, Cause you know we get down, They say I ain't shit, well then fuck it, it's true.
Alright, so boom, what's going on YouTube? It's your favorite YouTuber, you just don't know it. And I hope y'all enjoyed the different kind of these gloves. As you could tell, were reviewed differently, so that's why the performance test was different. And if you hear a little difference in my voice, I am sick, so I've been trying to hold off on filming this part of this video. I couldn't really do that because, like I said, the time restraints, yeah. So so bear with me, the voice cracks will be here in full effect in this video, so don't make no memes out of me. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Time out, I need to get my bracelets. Do y'all ever feel that way about your like bracelets or like a certain apparel that you wear at a game day, and you just like, if you're not wearing it, it's like a superstitious thing that the whole world's about to end? But anyways, let's get into this one because this one was a highly requested video, and I feel like I know why. I feel like I kind of know why, but not to spoil nothing with that's gonna happen in the next like 5 minutes. But after 2 years of no new releases, Grip Boost decided to drop these. It's the new edition of their Stealth series, and this is gonna be the 5th edition with these Grip Boost Stealth 5.0s. Let's see if they outperform the 4.0s. Let's see if my opinion on my DNAs over stealths are changed over these gloves, and let's just see what people are talking about, and let's see how I thought about them, and let's go ahead and get into if they're worth the hype or not. And before we get into the performance test, or not the performance test, before we get into the review, like I said, this video was done a little differently. Instead of a practice with them, which is typically what I do a practice or 2 with these gloves. This time I went to the field, didn't expect to play, kind of expected to play, ended up playing, brought the gloves out anyways, so I didn't want to waste the opportunity, and it's like a better test for these gloves. It's just not every time I have a 7-on-7 game. With that being said, maybe a 30 days with and without, maybe a 30 days with these gloves is a little better. You'll get a little bit more, I guess, like the B-roll that we're used to, as well as just overall one-on-one with these gloves, and not just, you know, thinking of playing this, thinking of this and this and that. So on to the pros, just to get it out the way. You guys know Grip Boost, they bring back this crab shell. Is it crab shell? I think it's crab shell. The grip is crazy on Grip Boost, no surprise there. With these gloves, they haven't changed anything. They said they improved it. I didn't feel an improvement, but then again, when something's already a 10 out of 10, how can you improve from a 10 out of 10? So Grip Boost, thumbs up on the grip, surprise enough. And also, where the glove does have the compression feel on these gloves, which is more so the top, like around the knuckle area and the fingers, that grip feels great. The comfortability on that part feels great. The breathability, everything is just great in that sense. Transitioning into the cons, because this is kind of a half and half kind of thing. The other half of this glove, where the big ginormous triangle on your wrist, is the complete opposite of the comfortability, the breathability of the compression half of the other glove, of the other part of the glove. I don't know who thought it would be a good idea to put that there. I think something as simple as just a simple little wrist strap that is like a rectangle, I guess, it works. So don't try to change something that works, because that's where you end up failing in some aspects. That's what happens with this glove. I guess that transitions us from the pros to the cons. I mean, to be honest, that's the only pro that I see with these gloves. Not trying to bash, but let's transition completely into the cons, man. With that big old giant triangle on the back of your, I don't know if it's the way my hands are set up, but I was getting pinched by them. I couldn't bring them all the way around because, like I said, I got like fat palms. It didn't wrap around my wrist down here as well, where I was trying to strap it up as tight as I can go. It kept pinching my wrist like in this like back area right here, and it didn't hurt. Like, it didn't like leave a mark or anything, but it was annoying, and it was annoying enough to where it felt like a bug bite, and I just kept like trying to redo them. And because this triangle is so big, I can't leave the strap off because it's just literally just like you take off the strap and the strap just feels like a giant it's just like a giant triangle, and it doesn't feel the same as when you just unstrap a regular glove with the rectangular Velcro. I just don't like it. It kind of looks like a baseball glove too. I don't know why I thought of that. I don't even play baseball, but baseball players, if I'm not tripping, let me know. But I cannot stand the triangle Velcro part of this glove at all. The reason why I don't like it as well is because transitioning to another con, this big old giant chunk of fabric that is meant to like strap in as like a, I guess maybe like a wrist spat, it doesn't work because it's so stiff and it's so big. So where I'm trying to bend my hand backwards, it's hard to do that. And I get that the whole point is to, if I go too far back, that's injuries and yada, yada, yada. But it's so big that it feels like I have to resist to literally go back like in the slightest. And that's not good and that's not comfortable. Mind you, this thing is so big that the breathability only works for my fingers. It doesn't work for the rest of my hand. When my palm is hot, my fingers are gonna get hot because the palm is the bigger part of your hand. And again, I feel like they were trying to do too much different. None of it really hit, to be honest. Yeah, and the last con, man, I was having stitching issues with these gloves. And like I said, I want to do more 7-on-7 games with these new gloves because it is a better test, yes. But my stitching issues came from my index finger, and that one is, typically you would use that more so in a game time situation because we use our thumbs and our index fingers the most. But I had stitching issues, and yes, that shows, maybe all the other gloves that I've used in the past would do the same thing. But for right now, the only way that I can tell you is how I feel. I can only tell you how I feel right now, and there were stitching issues on these gloves. And Grip Boost typically does well because they use different fabric. They have compression throughout majority of the glove, and compression doesn't have stitching. I'm trying so hard to talk and not like hock a loogie in the camera. That's gross. I'm sorry. But anyways, the stitching when the stitching's falling apart, when the glove is so stiff, and yes, it's new, but even then, when you keep bending it back, that big triangle is gonna have creasing. I don't know whose hand would fit properly to where there's just a big triangle on the back and it doesn't interfere. I just don't understand. Yeah, with that being said, man, it feels, okay, this is gonna sound really mean, but it feels like this glove is kind of, you ever get like the remastered versions of games, the remastered or the complete edition? They're just a re-release of the same thing you already have. Call of Duty 4 remastered, same thing you already have, just a port over. There was a Saints Row remaster that did terribly, like Last of Us remastered. Like there's a bunch of remasters that come out and you wonder why. The reason why these come out is so they're released, so there's something new, FOMO, fear of missing out. These are re-releases of something that have already come out, they already work, but the consumerism in us, we want to release something around the holidays, and that's what this feels like. These gloves feel just like a remaster or a complete edition in time for the holidays, man. There it is. I talked about Grip Boost in the Black Friday deals, and what is on that website? The new 5.0. Instead of getting the previous ones, you would pay that slightly more because I want to say these are $50 for the new ones. I feel like I'm kind of batching and I feel like I'm kind of rambling and I'm too sick for this. But Grip Boost, you guys have a good, I personally like your DNAs better than your stealths, but don't change something if it's already working. You guys have a perfectly fine, you guys are already renowned as one of the best gloves in football right now. So why would you change something that works? If you want to re-release stuff, re-release them with a different color palette. Maybe instead of, like, you guys have the thing where you guys have the deuces on the inside, you guys have like the shaka and all that stuff on the inside. Release different types of that. Release different cosmetics, because at the end of the day, when you try something new like this, you might bomb because you're trying to change something that works. And I think that was where you guys kind of dropped the ball on, but I still have faith in Grip Boost. You guys can see the track record. When you fail once, it's not the end of the world because they have a lot of more hits than they have fails. So yeah, Grip Boost, definitely go back to the drawing board with these 5.0s, and hopefully the DNAs, if they ever do, the new DNAs when they come out, hopefully those hit, and hopefully Grip Boost takes this constructive criticism. That's what I'm here for. But yeah, if nobody's told you yet, I know the show grind. Keep up the hard work. It's gonna pay off one day, and I will catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.